So Tito,
Yes, sir.
I have not seen you in forever, my friend. So I've
Man,
known Tito for many, many years. Back in Noonan, I also used to live in Noonan, and Tito was this incredibly talented teenage young man, learning music on GarageBand, and then
wow.
eventually going up to Logic. And now, what you using Pro Tools also, or what's the story there?
We're here, man. I'm actually on Ableton now. I use Ableton. I'm familiar with Pro Tools and more, all the other software as well. Uh, but I guess my go-to would be Ableton for now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well,
So that's Ableton.
that's cool. I just got Logic for the iPad just to play with it.
Wow,
I don't know squat.
really?
Like I
You,
really don't know anything.
funny enough, you were the one who put me on to Logic.
I
Uh,
remember that. I
so
remember
that's a
I remember having a
Carlos.
conversation with your mother and like saying, "Look, this kid has got some talent. Have you heard the music he's doing on GarageBand? This guy, if he had a little extra bandwidth, and Logic is actually the same team that makes GarageBand makes Logic, so it's just a natural upgrade. And then you self-taught mastered it, like you just were on it, and then you were just coming out with music back to back, back to back. So this is now years later, and I remember I had actually interviewed you on. I had a Facebook page called the Lounge Network, and the Lounge
Mhm.
Network, that interview is still there
Yeah,
with Digital Madhouse. So you're still with Digital Madhouse.
we're still here. Yeah,
And
yes,
so,
sir.
so what are you doing now? Tell me.
So now we're pretty much still doing the same thing we were doing. Now we're just more in the artist development side of things, just kind
Sweet.
of behind the scenes. Just I personally get a kick of just like assisting and building talents and helping build what we would consider superstars of tomorrow, the superstars of tomorrow, basically,
Okay.
type of thing.
Well, and so tell us a little bit more in terms of like the type of genres that you're supporting and that type of stuff under Digital Madhouse.
So that was actually a very tough a, a tough obstacle, I should say, tough hurdle for us because it was hard to just stay on one genre and just kind of like just stay there. You know what I mean? Like I've always very much like Skin Up, and uh, a lot of other counterparts. We like keeping things diverse. I enjoy a little bit of I mean anything honestly. I enjoy alternative rock every here and there. I enjoy even certain country songs every here and there. Like nothing against. We were brought up in a society where we're kind of like, I like everything but country. But honestly, there's actually
Well,
some,
country I thought
yeah,
was fantastic when I lived in Georgia.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not a
That's
person that sits down in the radio and listens to country, but if it was like the local bar and they're performing, there's something about live,
right,
like jazz. I'll go to a jazz club and watch it play live,
right.
or an orchestra. I'll go to the Philharmonic and watch it play live. Do I tune on in the radio? Not so much. But
Right.
seeing people like tapping the guitar,
Right.
hitting that bow on the cello, whatever, having been done that myself, it's something that I enjoy is
Yeah.
watching people perform live instruments and stuff like that.
Right.
So
Right.
you're in this kind of new venture. How many artists are you working with right now?
So I usually try not to take on too much work, I should say, but I usually could handle about right at the moment. I'd say about 4 or 5, uh, 6, I guess, if you're including myself.
Okay. And
But
so now back in the day, another thing that I thought you were excellent with was the music video stuff. Like you would shoot your own
mm,
music videos,
oh
and they
man,
weren't, so like I told you guys a story. I met him when he was a teenager. He started getting into music, all that type of stuff. But he was not doing like home video style music videos. This guy was like going next level music video production, and I was very impressed. And he's using like basic tools. So how's that going? Is that part of your progression?
so I actually, and it wasn't until recently I realized, like, you know what, I think I had something going with the videos. so I'm actually tapping back into that lane and just trying to pick back. They say it's like riding a bike, kind of
Sure.
thing.
Well, so back in the day when I was doing music videos, you know, we had something called MTV, and all that's kind of gone now.
Right.
Yet, music videos is still a huge, massive way of marketing and pushing the music.
Absolutely.
So I still watch music videos on YouTube. Of course, they have the channel called Vivo, and so it's a very powerful tool to really attract and let people know a little bit of that artist, what their skill sets are, what they're capable of doing,
Right.
and just sharing that music. And it's a shareable uh, form of media.
Correct.
Unlike music, music's not that easy to share. You don't just go to Spotify and hit share and then it's on social media. But a music video, you can.
Yeah.
So
Even
it's a
though
huge marketing tool.
they did kind of change the game now with Spotify, and technically you are able to do that now, but
I don't see my feed full of Spotify links.
but right, well, the links no, but I think there's like other ways that they could incorporate it. But to add to your point, I agree. Yes, when you have the visual, it does invite, it invites the audience now to have a peek into your world, into your mind, essentially, to be able to really like paint a picture outside of the words.
So are you now in the early
Sounds.
days? You were going by the name DJ Tito. Are you still into
Yes.
DJ Tito?
So yeah, and that also came with the new journey that I've currently embarked in. Just kind of um, just I felt like the reason why I it's no longer DJ Tito is because it almost put a ceiling. Um,
Understood.
Shout out to my bro Apocalypse, by the way. He was the one who great mentor. He's the guy who actually we were just having that conversation back and forth. Just how the term DJ it just kind of puts a ceiling to what we're doing.
Understood.
But essentially, I am a DJ.
Yeah, I get it.
It
Well,
yeah,
well, not only just hearing you say what you just said, there's a certain amount of growth that I'm hearing from you. So I respect that. Thank you for sharing that.
no worries.
So what's next? Like, here you are, you're in New York. What's the next move?
So I wanna we're headed in the direction of wanting to kind of do what the original vision was, which is just get our company established. Well, in the books, I should say, and just kind of continue building relationships and navigating our way through this industry. It's something that it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's very much it's very much worth it, I should say. I've I've gotten to meet a lot of great people along the way. I've also learned a lot.
You've been through it. I mean,
Okay.
just in any entertainment industry stuff, you meet some good people, you meet some bad people, you
Right.
meet some, you go through the whole roller coaster of drama in entertainment, and it's definitely a field that you don't know who to trust and that type of thing. And then once you've gotten scarred a little bit, that's when you start getting into knowing how to maneuver correctly and knowing how to make those right moves. And I think you're kind of getting there and doing this process here and having skin up as part of your I guess your toolkit, so to speak, is a good beginning. So I appreciate the fact that you're sharing that with me, and that we get to share it with the audience. So
Absolutely.
what's happening now? So here you are, you're in New York. You guys going to have a performance. What else is going on?
So I've actually I've been just going since we're on the topic of skin up. I've actually skin up is someone who's man. I mean, the music is self-explanatory. I think that outside of the music, also we established a very solid relationship outside of music. We were actually friends for a while before the topic of music even came about. We spent a lot of time just playing video games and spending real time, I should say.
Well, that's
Um,
good. I
to
mean, the reason I say that's good is because you create a certain trust factor, basically what I was just talking about.
Correct.
And like even me with the entertainment industry, the people that I'm relinking up with are people that have known me for
Right,
decades.
right.
And now I can call them up and say, you know what? Remember I had this dream? And they're like, yeah, we used to talk about it, this and that, not with beers or anything, but whatever. Um, and now I'm saying, yo, do you want to join the fun? I'm going to make those moves now. And then even you reach out to me all the time saying, okay, when are we going to put some stuff together?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think in all our lives, including Skin Up, it sounds like it's where now is the time.
That's right. I feel like, honestly, like we're living the dream, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm living the dream right now. I think, it's
Well, I'm gonna correct
it's
that a
a
little bit.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that we are making the dream.
Mm,
I don't believe in that. Like we're not on a roller coaster in terms of something else is controlling it. I believe that we have to create it. And I think
I
that's
like that.
I think
I
that's
like
the
that.
point of me doing these shows
Right.
is to let people know in every interview that you've heard, you will hear how each person has literally grabbed the handles of their steering wheel and maneuvered.
Mm.
It wasn't maneuvering itself. They realized, and you're hearing it here, they're realizing that the only way to make anything move is by steering yourself. You don't trust the road. You don't trust what's the headlights. You trust you, and that's how you make things happen. So you're hearing it today. So I love the fact that you're driving now. I'm glad you got your license, right? I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All the damage, all
Right.
that type of stuff is just you saying, shit, like now I got my license and I got it the hard way.
Right. That's
And
right.
so I hope I get to join your adventure and be participant of it.
Absolutely.
Having these interviews is definitely part of it.
Absolutely.
And so hopefully we'll see some more growth with Skin Up and Tito. And so before we go, what else do you want to tell us?
so I've actually and shouts out to my girl, man. She's actually put me on to this thing where um and we kind of know about these things already, but it's just real life always gets in the way and things get confusing. But just whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that anyone out there listening, or whatever you decide to do in life, um, just do it with intention. You know what I'm saying? Do it like my dad always says. Like if you're gonna do it. Don't act like you're gonna do it. Just do it. And be as be as good as do it as good as at the best of your ability, basically.
That's funny. That reminds me of someone who, when was young and driving, whatever, and it being in New York, when you drive, you're at the will of everybody driving around you. But one thing he told me was, if you're gonna turn that wheel, commit to it.
Right.
Don't be half-assed. Don't like go in and have somebody swerve, you know, and then you pull away and he almost caused an accident for no reason. Someone's going to slow down
That's right.
for you and make that space for you. So if you're going to do that in real life, that's the same rule. You know,
right.
if you're going to do it. But don't go in, like the water's cold and you pull out again.
Right.
No, just jump.
Right. That's right.
And that's basically a rule of life is you got to just commit.
That's right.
And in every episode, that's been the selling story in the show Garage that I do, is they committed and they never hesitated. And at some point, it may not happen the next day, but if you commit, the likelihood of you succeeding is way higher than if you're just going in
What if?
half-assed.
That's right.
So
And even you, man, like big ups to you. I know a lot of the supporters now that are watching Garage now. A lot of you are like myself, a fan. We've seen your growth as well, and everything that you've contributed to what's going on now, and you've always been ahead of the curve. I've always felt like you're one of the few people that I could sit down and talk to, and we could really have this real conversation as opposed to, you know, anything else, man. So big ups to you, man. You know, big ups to you. You came a long way from the, you know, from the lounge, and you're still growing.
What's funny
So look
is
forward.
if you look at any of my early videos, like some of this technology that I'm even using today just never existed. And now I love the fact that these technology people are allowing me to use that technology in terms of sometimes I get to have first dibs of using the technology and show it off and maxing out what it can do. You know, because a lot of people are watching that, you know, if they've never seen me before or watched the video before, or any of your fans from Skin Up and what have you, and they're watching like camera switching and graphics and all that type of stuff. That didn't exist before.
Right.
And they're watching and they're thinking, oh, somebody else is doing the switching. Meanwhile, here I am, literally on my lap, I'm doing this. And you were there in the early days when none of this stuff even existed. I had to
You
use a
were a
big fat
guru.
computer and, you know, big fat lights and all that type of stuff, and, you know, and it was crazy. But now, we can literally just be anywhere we want. This isn't even my studio. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were able to set this up, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and here we are. But listen, man, so much luck to you and your endeavors. I really hope that, you know, you're focused on your goals and you just keep going for it, and Skin Up as well. I hope you guys have some great music that we can all listen to, and we're definitely going to have another interview where we're going to be able to show off what we talked about. Now, I'm going to have an edited version of this episode on YouTube, and I'm going to mix in some of the music videos and audio and that type of stuff. So those who are here live, I appreciate it, and I will be able to post it, and I'll share that post on Facebook as well. But I appreciate you guys coming down.
Thank you.
And letting me kind of enjoy this moment as a part of your adventure in your future. And thank you guys for joining us here on my Facebook, and this will be on Garage, the netcast on YouTube. And then there's more to come. I got all these plans coming up, so hopefully you'll join me on that adventure too. All right, guys. Take care. Thank you so much.
2024, man. We got a lot of big stuff coming, man. Shout out to Carlos Phoenix. Shout out to Skin Up, man. Digital Madhouse 2024, 25, 26. You know what it is, man. DJ Tito, man. AKA Tito. Love.